one of my favorite things about this podcast and having the opportunity to host it and have these conversations is that there are all these Black actors that just feel like family to me because they've been in like all of the stuff that I've watched, whether it was sitcoms or movies. Like you can see Blair Underwood in this show, and then you go and see this movie and it's Blair Underwood again, you know? So it feels like I know y'all, kind of, sort of.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, it's good to finally meet you in person. And I feel like this was especially true in the 90s. Like the 90s was just so Black, media-wise, movies, so television, I know. What was going out for roles in the 90s like when it was so Black? Like, was it like there's so many opportunities around for everyone?
Let's just talk about how I just miss that. I miss the fact that you could turn on CBS, ABC, NBC, and there was opportunity and different shows showing us, showing our family life, comedies, sketch comedy, sitcoms, different things that had our experience on television that you didn't have to like pay for, that you didn't have to have your Netflix or whatever to get true, authentic stories about us and our race. Exactly. But again, different moments in our families. So I would love to see that come back.
Well, I'm optimistic that
we can keep hope alive.
We can make media Black again.
Absolutely. All the way around.
All the way around.
Just have the diversity.
At least try.
Try a little harder.
Try a little There you go. In the 90s, you were one of the it girls as far as like Black Hollywood, Black media. You were on shows.
I considered that, I guess.
I think so.
Okay.
Remember the Essence cover with Halle Berry and Loretta Devine? Yeah, I would absolutely class you in those ladies. This is just going to be like an hour-long love fest. So I hope you're okay with compliments.
I'm okay. I'll be okay.
I'm not, so I also apologize.
I'll be all right. I'll make it through.
Okay. But you were on shows that like everybody loved and everybody watched. The Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Steve Harvey, and this is all before getting your own sitcom.
Yeah.
What was it like to be a part of so many different sitcoms? Like, was the energy different on each set? Is it sort of like, okay, this is a Black sitcom, we know how this works, or just like?
Yeah, I think it's two parts, right? One thing we know about Hollywood, or I know about Hollywood, is they like something new.
Yeah.
I was a new girl. I was a new fresh face. You know, it really kind of came easy because, again, this industry likes new. So I'm someone that they hadn't seen on everything before. So I do believe it as an actor, it is easier in that beginning of your career when, you know, it's like, oh, let's have her. That's somebody new that people are talking about. Okay, then let's have her over here because that's somebody that's new that they're talking about. You know, so I believe that played into it a lot. It was always fun, and it's always fun to be the guest star.
Was there any point while you were guest starring where you're like, okay, this is fun and it's cute, but like I'm ready to like be the star and not the guest star?
Here's what I'll say about me. As calculated as I am now in my life, I wish I was calculated back then. I wasn't calculated.
Yeah.
It was all so new to me. Every opportunity was like, oh, this is great. I think now, looking back, if I knew what I know now about the industry, it would have been way more conversations with my people and agents and managers about, okay, now I have this body of work. Now we need to take that to different networks and show them what I've been doing and show them that I could possibly have my own show or create my own show. I was really honestly figuring it all out still, you know, so that's what I'll say. It was all great, but my plan was not as strategic as it probably should have been, me not even thinking of that at the time.
That makes sense. I feel like that would have been me as well.
Just happy go lucky, and just like, okay, we working, everything is paid for. Okay, cool,
Family's
great.
Eating.
What's the next one?
Fantastic. Is there any guest starring role that was your favorite, or I don't know if it's like how you can't pick a favorite kid, so I will.
Oh, that's easy though. No, that's easy.
Okay, go ahead.
So especially back then, The Fresh Prince.
Okay.
The Fresh Prince, first of all, when I did it, was like that show on television.
Oh my gosh, I never.
It was
missed
right
an
when it was the biggest thing on television, and you know, first of all, meeting Pam Grier. I'd never met Pam Grier.
Oh my gosh.
So when I met Pam Grier, said she was so nice, and she was like, "Girl, look, I do my own makeup. If you don't like what they doing, you do it yourself. Because they don't know what's going on, girl. You do you better do what you know is gonna make you look good. Don't be coming out there. She was all of that, you know.
Right.
So
that's a good point, because I'd imagine
she was great.
Yeah.
She was amazing, and to this day, people just love that episode that she played my mom.
So,
you know,
so
it was
good.
so fun. And the whole, "Oh, you slept with Candace." People will say it to me. People just love that episode.
So the late 90s, I consider truly the golden era for Black people on television. And I feel like the best example of this is the Essence cover that you were on for its 30th anniversary cover. I mean, no big deal. It was just you, Queen Latifah, Michael Michelle, Loretta Devine,
no big deal
Vivica
at all,
Fox, Holly Berry, Jada Pinkett Smith, Regina King. You know, just you're around the way,
The
girl.
hotness of the hot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What was it like to be a part of that cover?
Just, I couldn't even believe when I got the call, and just everybody was so iconic already at that point, and I was still very new to the industry. It was just a blessing to get the call from Essence, and Halle Berry was so sweet when I met her, and she was like, "Girl, your legs are so divine. How do you do that? How do you make your legs?" I was like, "Oh my God, Halle, Miss Halle, that's so good. Thank you." Like, I was just so, because it was still a sisterhood, you know? So that was what made it so great. It wasn't just that these were just iconic women. It was just all of us getting together to do an amazing cover, and I had a great time being a part of that.
You were soon starring in your own sitcom, The Hughleys, 1998 through 2002. I was a fan of it, like, from the very beginning, because I was really, really into stand-up comedy when I was younger, still am. And I remember D.L. Hughley as the host of Comic View. I was like, this is gonna be funny. And it was funny. It was one of my favorite shows. Did you have to audition for this role? Because again, like, during this time, like, you were kind of everywhere. Is that a thing you had to audition for?
No, I didn't. But let's talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
Now we're in this moment of, you know, people creating, right? African Americans creating content.
Yes.
And how important that is, and how that is helpful to people's careers, and acknowledging people who can have the ability to have ideas and create them. So I like to emphasize the fact that, you know, DL and his comedy and everything was the creator, executive producer of the Hughleys.
I do not think I realized that.
And people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know, this was all a brainchild from the comedy that he did, that ABC came to him and gave him his own show off of what he had already accomplished. So they took that and made that the show. So
Okay.
I think, you know, even he doesn't really talk about that, but that is the truth. That it was all a brainchild off of the comedy that made that show happen. And no, I didn't audition for it. This was after, you know, and in the beginning of my career, I was considered more of a, as you say, a film actress.
Yeah.
Coming from Rosewood, then Money Talks, and then after
Loved
that,
Money Talks.
thank you, and then doing the Hughleys. And so ABC offered me the Hughleys, which was a blessing, because, you know, they thought we look well together playing husband and wife. But, you know, being my first sitcom, that was my second television show, but my first sitcom, you know, I learned a lot on that set, and learned a lot about having the position of being the star, you know, and what that means. And it was fun behind the scenes to be able to go, "Oh, we're gonna have like your cousin and this," and be like, "Who do you like?" And being in that process, "Oh, yeah, I love Vivica. Vivica played like my cousin on the show."
So your input was considered.
They would ask, you know,
Yeah.
"Who do you like?" And I was like, "Okay, this is cool." And I just loved being on that show.
Yeah.
And I think people also forget how, you know, not on the nose political, but it was very political about living in a neighborhood that, you know, you were the outsiders coming into a neighborhood that maybe people didn't think that you fit.
Yeah.
And a community embracing us, and how we as a family dealt with those different things, and our, you know, other race neighbors and all of those things, and how we still had issues and problems but stuck together as a family.
Yeah.
I think it was really an important show that people seem to forget that. And I think
Yeah.
you have lots of, you know, different shows that have embraced those themes, like The Neighborhood, like Blackish, like things like that, which really stem from that family element that we had on a show.
Did you find that it was more difficult for you to get roles as a Black woman?
I think, what for me, the interesting thing was around, let's see, what year is that? We had like a writer's strike. Maybe it was 08 or something.
Okay.
Like around in there. So then nobody was working for a while there. Somewhere around in there was where it was like, oof. Coming off of that strike, that's when TV changed. That's because, see, we had all of this great TV, all these fun times. My race and other races were making a lot of money on television. Then the writer's strike happened. Then they could not have content that had writers. Then that's when reality TV was born. That's when you started to get like the Snookies and the MTV of it all. And let's find this untapped talent that nobody knows that's hilarious because we need content because there's nothing that we can do because the writers are on strike. Let's get these reality shows up and running. Pay them $45 a week, and they will be happy because they're unknown. And it's not necessarily because you got to keep in mind, coming from I'm not an actress first. I'm a celebrity first. I'm a talent first. So that switch didn't upset me in terms of like why. It upset me because I was like, okay, I get it, but now I got to figure it out.
Before the reality boom, there was Hustle and Flow, 2005.
Hustle and Flow was fun.
Tell me about it.
I thought it was so amazing to do something that, first of all, we shot in Memphis, so that was just to have something, to have something become Oscar contenders, and my hometown, be it the subject matter was what it was, but embracing my hometown, like I loved that. I loved it. It felt great, and then we had a premiere in Memphis as well as the in Hollywood. And just being able to take Terrence and Taraji around and go say, y'all want to go bowling? Okay, I know where to go. And just have them in my city was great.
I didn't realize that it was shot in Memphis. I'm like imagining like me being an actress now.
Well, what was really the best part? Like, okay, we had the one house where they did all the mixing and all the music took place. And we shot this and it was super hot. People used to stop by and just, everybody knew what house we were using.
Oh, yeah?
So people would stop by with plates. Y'all hungry?
Aww.
We got some plates for y'all. Y'all want something to eat? We cooked something last night. Y'all hungry over there? Let me see Terrence. What you looking? Hey, Terrence. How you doing? My mama love you, Terrence.
I got some yams.
All of that, all the time. It was so funny.
I love that so much. Southerners, man. Southerners.
It made sure they used their delicious food to be able to meet who they wanted to meet.
I feel like there was a time when I wondered, because I could see how well the movie was doing, like all the awards it was getting. And there was a time when because being Black, there's always a moment where you second guess good stuff sometimes.
At the end of the day too, people were worried about the subject matter. The people had a lot to say about the subject matter.
Like, is this the reason the white people like it? Because it's another movie with Black folks in roles that they already think of us in? I think
it was more so for me what separates it. I mean, and again, it's just my perspective. It separates it from certain things that I feel people looked at it for. One, because it really is a movie about hope. It really is a movie about believing in yourself. When people look at you like this, like you're dirt, like you're scum, like you're just some pimp, but you have so much more inside of you if someone gave you a shot.
Yeah.
I look at that movie like, I think that's why it resonated. I do.
Yeah.